100 Days Live, day 12. Yes, today's the second, so it's day 12. So that should get us right through the end of the year at 100 Days Live, right up to about around Christmas time, maybe between Christmas and New Year's. Maybe I can even end right on Christmas Day. How cool would that be? So I wanted to continue the conversation that we had last night, kind of about some of the things my wife and I talked about, and it sparked a lot of thoughts in my mind. And one of the things that I told my wife is I find it interesting how, we want to be something. Like when we think about the people that we want to become, we just wish that we were that person. And so often we're not that person. Like we just think, man, I wish I was, for instance, more patient. Like, God, give me patience. But the interesting thing about becoming who we want to be or becoming how we want to be is that we have to exercise or we have to do the things that that type of person would do in order to become that type of person. So, do a little thought exercise with me here, and I apologize, I keep bumping my mic. You can't just be wealthy, okay? You can have wealth, but you don't just be wealthy. A wealthy person, that doesn't necessarily make them a patient person or a kind person, or it doesn't give them faith. The interesting thing about being something is that you have to do the things in order for me to be more patient. I wish I had more patience. Like, I want patience and I want it right now. God, give me patience. It's like, no, it doesn't work that way. I have to act patient. I have to be patient in order to become a patient person. I have to enact my faith. I have to have faith and exercise it and use it in order to have it, in order to be those things. If you're at all familiar with the personal development world, you've heard a lot of people talk about the be, do, have thing. And it's so interesting how in order to be, you have to do the types of things that the person that you want to be would do. So if you want to be a more patient person, you observe somebody who is patient, who exercises lots of patience, who displays patience with their wife, with their kids, with their friends, with their coworkers, with their boss, with their employees, with the people at the grocery store, with the people on the freeway. That's hard to exercise patience there. But as you observe those people and their behaviors and how they act patient, if you replicate that, you are being patient. You're not just going to have patience. You can't just have things. I mean, you can't just have the being things, whether that's patience or faith or kindness. You actually have to put out an effort to do those things, to act kind, to act patient, to act all of those things. Anything that is a state of being, all it takes is a simple bit of action for you to be that. Now, wealth, depending how you define it, if you want to talk about monetary wealth, no, you can't just act like I'm rich and be rich, because that is a having. You have to have the money, if that's how you define wealth, in order to be wealthy. But the being of kind, of patient. And I come back to those things because that was really what was the center of my wife and my conversation last night. Is, we talked about how men of faith from years ago, for instance, George Mueller, how he had the orphanage, and there were instances where they had no food in the orphanage, and he had hundreds of boys and girls that he was taking care of. And he'd say, all right, everybody sit down, God provide the food. And sure enough, the food would come, it'd be delivered. But he acted on his faith. He showed faithfulness. He displayed his faith. He didn't just have faith, he acted out on that. And I told my wife, I said, sitting here saying I want patience, or I wish I could be more patient, or I wish I could be more faithful, is kind of like sitting in the boat and watching Peter climb out of the boat and walk on the water and being like, man, I wish I could do that. It's like, no, you just have to go do that. You have to do the things that that kind of person would do. I challenge you, if there's something that you want to be, like not wealthy, like rich. Yeah, I want to be rich too, okay? But you've got to do the things that it takes in order to become the kind of person that you want to become, in order to be that kind of person. So I challenge you to start being. Be patient, be faithful, be loving, be kind. Do those things, and you will be that person. Now do good work.